Hi, Math 1 students. Good morning. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. Happy Mexican Independence Day. Just kidding. It's not Mexican Independence Day. You should Wikipedia it. You should Wikipedia the meaning of May 5th. Okay? So today I want to go over congruent triangles and some SSS and SAS stuff that you need to know. So the first thing is we're talking about congruent triangles. So congruent means exactly the same. That means the angle measurements, the sides are all the same. Okay. So if you look at this example here, notice that we use special markings to show if something's congruent. So you notice that angle P here is congruent to angle L right here. Okay. Angle Q here is congruent to angle M. And no matter how I move them, how I move these triangles, even if it looked like this, angle P is always going to be congruent to angle L. And the same thing, angle R is always going to be congruent to angle N. Now notice the symbol, the markings we show that this angle P has just this line, Q has a line and another line through it, R has a line with two lines across it, okay? And now look at the sides too. Side PQ. Don't say P and Q. It's side PQ is congruent to side LM. Side PR is congruent to side LN because they have the three little tick marks. We call those things corresponding sides or corresponding angles. Okay, so if I asked you, class, what side corresponds with side QR? You would say side MN. Okay, so when we go to our topic, this one right here. Now this is already telling you that the two triangles are congruent. So angle A here has these two lines, so that would be angle X. You're going to type in angle X. Now how about B? B would be this one line, so it would be Z. For C, it has three lines, so it would be Y. Okay. Now let's look at the sides. How about side AB? AB has the three hash marks. So it would be XZ. Now you can either put XZ or you could put ZX. Okay, it's the same thing. XZ or ZX, same answer. How about AC? AC is this right here, so that would be XY. Oops. XY. And how about BC? BC would be this side right here with the two marks, so that would be ZY. All right. Now, this part's a little tricky. We're saying that triangle BCA, the order matters here, okay? So BCA starts from the angle with the one congruent mark. So I'm going to start with Z, so it'll be Z. So we're going to see what angles correspond. Now let's look at angle C. Angle C corresponds with angle Y. And angle A with the two marks corresponds with angle X. Okay? So that should be good. All right. And I want to jump ahead to question number 4, which is probably a tougher one. Before I go there, I want to talk about how do we know if triangles are congruent? Okay, how to find if triangles are congruent. There are 4 ways that we know that triangles are congruent. It's these 4 right here. Please disregard this HL. HL stands for hypotenuse leg, but don't worry about that one because that's only for right triangles. So we're going to focus on these 4 right here. The first one, SSS, what that's saying is that if you have 3 pairs of congruent sides, then the 2 triangles are congruent. So the best way to look at it is look at this example. I'm going to share this link with you guys, okay, on Google Classroom. So yeah, side 4 is congruent to side 4 right here. And the 7 is congruent to the 7. Okay, so those are all congruent right there. And then the 5 is congruent to the 5. So that means there's 3 sides, side, they're congruent to the other 3 sides of the other triangle. The second option is SAS. So we have a side, then an angle, then a side. A side, then an angle, and a side. So order matters here, okay? We go side, angle, side, angle, side. Now, notice all 3 of these are in sets of all 4 of these, are in sets of 3. Now you have an angle, side, angle. You have an angle, a side, and an angle. The side is sandwiched between the 2 angles. Angle, side, angle. And then lastly, we have an AAS. An angle and an angle, then a side. An angle and an angle, then a side. an angle and an angle, then a side, okay? Now note there is no ASS one, okay? Forgive me for my language, but there is no ASS. If you look at the four choices, it's AAS, ASA, SAS, or SSS, okay? So if you go to Alex, when you go to the drop-down menu, there's only those four choices. So let's look at this first one right here. So we have an angle, then a side, okay? An angle, and a side. Now we have angle, then a side right here. Okay, so this would be angle, side, which would be this one right here. So now let's choose this option. If we're going from M and O, we're starting with the M, the angle that does not have any markings. So that would be P. And then the N has one marking, which is a Q. And the R has, the O it corresponds with R. Okay, so it would be that option. Now let's look at this one right here now. Now we have a congruent angle and a side and then an angle. A congruent angle, then a side, and then an angle. So that would be ASA. Let's see if there's an ASA option. ASA, yep. And let's write this out. So ABC, so A would be the angle with the two markings, so that corresponds to angle D. The B is the angle without any markings, so that would be the E. And then C would correspond with F. Okay? Now let's look at this one right here. My example did not do it, but you're going to have some examples where we're going to throw you a curveball. They're going to try to trick you up. You cannot. This has to be groups of three. Okay, notice that these are all groups of three. There's no AS or SS or SA or AA congruence property. It's all groups of three. And remember, there is no ASS. ASS is a donkey. Okay, it's not a congruence property. So this would be ASA, and let's look at the triangle. So U corresponds with the Y, the V corresponds with the X, and the W corresponds with the Z. And just like that, we should be good, okay? So check out this link. I think it's really, really useful for you to see the four congruence properties, okay? So I'm going to check it. Tell me it's good. Tell me it's good. What? I made a mistake. Figure C, your answer is incorrect. Oh my goodness. Figure C. Where did I make a mistake? Oh my goodness, guys. I messed up. Look at this. They tricked me up. This is an ASA, but this one's an SAA. They're not congruent. Shame on me. Ha, class, April Fools. I did that on purpose so you can see that. So notice again, you have an angle, then a side, then an angle. This one is an angle and an angle, then a side. So this one is ASA, but this one is AAS. Okay, so they're not congruent. They're not congruent. Recheck it. Booyah. Got it done. Okay? Hope you guys saw that difference right there. I just want to give you guys a heads up for the rest of the school year, including this week. We have 4 more weeks. Okay, this is this week right now. We're going to work on geometry congruent stuff, and then we're going to do some Math 2 prep, and then the last week for finals week, you will not have a final exam, but this will be a catch-up week, okay? For you to turn in all late assignments, anything and everything, and then we'll be done, all right? Okay, guys, please email me or send me a message if you have any other questions. Okay, happy Cinco de Mayo.